From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big early morning of LALATE with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In this recording, we go over the breaking news direct from Santa Monica, California about that recon, and that vote will likely happen tonight, if not tomorrow night. A House deal has been reached, and that deal will set the vote and pass the recon on the House side. With or without the Congressional Budget Office report, I have the latest details in this big broadcast direct from Santa Monica, California. The programs in this recon will pay you about $15,000 across all these incredible clusters of checks. But no time or place to wait just for that. No time to wait just for that to pay your bills, because third stimulus can pay your bills today. On average, $45,000 has been gotten from third stimulus for viewers of this channel. I have all the details in this recording. Then we turn over to the exciting details of student loan debt forgiveness. More debt could be forgiven, $10,000. This would go by executive order. And then we turn to fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus heats up after that COLA raise. Those details and more as the toast is toasting and the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here. We got a delicious broadcast. That toast, delicious. That coffee, delicious. And that bacon, even better. But it's just digital bacon for now. We got a big broadcast. I'm excited you're here. And yes, we are going to the finish line, and we're getting massive sums of money. The big broadcast, the big money, the missing bacon, but we can do with digital bacon for now. And the early morning's broadcast starts right here, right now. I'm excited for you and all these incredible details starting this morning. Hope you're having a beautiful day across the globe. Here we go. The House deal and the House items across the board. We're going to have an incredible recon. And that incredible recon will go for a final vote as early as the end of today. And that wonderful vote will happen with or without a Congressional Budget Office report. Then we go over to the incredible programs. The programs will pay about $15,000 across all these incredible clusters of checks. And then we don't have to wait for those checks because third stimulus is paying right now. On average, $45,000. I'll go over the details of that in this recording. Student loan debt forgiveness is heating up, $10,000 offer. And then we turn to fifth stimulus. Right after that COLA raise. It's a big, bold, beautiful broadcast. I'm excited you're here. We got a lot going on this morning, and thank you for joining me. We also have breaking news about sirloin, and also we have the update on frame wars. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Boy, we got a big broadcast today. Let me go over what we're covering in this recording. First, we're going to go over the big recon. Those clusters, one at a time, and how it's going to pay you on average about $15,000 of checks. Then we're going to go over the voting process. Then we're going to go over each check one at a time under this fourth stimulus recon. Then back over to third stimulus that's paying viewers money right now to pay for your bills. Very exciting. Then we turn to student loan debt forgiveness, fifth stimulus. And a little bit of sirloin and some frame wars. Let's go right into the incredible details to start the morning. This incredible recon will be passing the House of Representatives as early as tonight, if not tomorrow night or the day after, with 3 clusters of checks and 2 add-ons in there that pay you on average about $15,000 across all these incredible clusters. What are they? Let's go right into the first cluster starting right now. And here we go. We got in there hazard pay. That hazard pay is incredible. It is that big earned income tax credit for those essential workers back end. They got $4,000 of elder care for those seniors. That is front end. Then $4,000 of care for young children as well. And then the exciting details of that big money that is in the CTC, child tax credit, 1 more year, front end check. They got the home repairs. Wow, front end check if you live in a low income community. And the Pell Grant, $550 checks. Finally, $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. I'm very excited for you. That is the first cluster of 3. Let's go to the first add-on. And it's free money to go buy a house. Excuse me? What did he just say? I just said free money to go buy a house. Maxine Waters wanted $25,000, but it's going to be a little bit less. How do you get this money, LA? It's coming up later in this video. Stay with me. I show all those details coming up later. We got the home repairs in second cluster, more home repairs, and then also paid leave. Well, paid leave, front end check, got it in there. Then they got the incredible household tax credit back end check. They got pre-kindergarten front end, and then they got the home repairs. This is, this time, weatherizing your home. You definitely need to weatherize your home because you never know when Joe Manchin dries up with that awful color of a Maserati. You know, it doesn't burn gasoline. It doesn't run on electric fuel. It just burns coal. Sort of like his soul. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so in the second ad-on from Bob Casey, we have the incredible money that goes to my seniors and also people on disabilities. And that incredible sums of money is $250 billion for home health care and also for seniors. Wow, this is big. It's home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. More about that later, coming up in a second. But let's go to the third cluster of checks. Wow, we're flying. I'm excited for you. This is the big deliciousness that starts right now. In this third cluster, there is free school meals for all checks, cheaper prescription medication. We got in there the immigration reform, the farmers, also the free internet, the workers, and then Medicare expansion. 2 provisions in on the House side and 3 coming on the Senate side. On the House side, they got in there the Medicaid gap, and then on this, and also the hearing. On the Senate side, they're going to do dental, vision, and then the big Medicare drop of eligibility age. So says Bernie Sanders. Which brings us to that third add-on. It stands for MSC, monthly or multiple IRS stimulus check. Democrat senators vowed to put it in there. 6 of them. The 2 C's, the 2 S's, and the 2 W's. Here's what they last said when discussing the subject matter. They said $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter for 6 months is what they wanted to give you. You need to advocate. 2 C's, Casey Coons, 2 W's, Warren Wyden, 2 S's, Sanders and Schumer. They say the eligibility would be the same as a third stimulus check. Single individual, $75,000 or less was what third stimulus check did it. Married couple was $150,000 or less, double it. Family of 4, quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits. The MSC is not in the House bill, but can be added on the Senate side because senators vow they're adding a lot of stuff in on the Senate side. During vote-a-rama, or during Senate subcommittees. Senate subcommittee is first, potentially, if they have a lot to do, which they say they do, and Senate vote-a-rama would go last. But the great news is that the viewers have become laser refocused on this channel in the last few days because I said to them, hey, I don't want you to sit around waiting for stimulus MSC to hopefully land. I want you to get the money that's available today to pay your bills. You have bills, and get those bills paid with third stimulus. Third stimulus has about $45,000. Average view of this channel has gotten $45,000 of checks, bills paid under third stimulus. I show you how to get that in the second half of this video. Then we turn to the big exciting details as a deal is done on that House recon. And that vote will happen as early as tonight, if not tomorrow night. It's incredible. They're going to do that vote with or without the Congressional Budget Office report. And the fourth stimulus has lots of checks in there, multiple checks that pay you on average about $15,000. We'll be going over to some student loan debt forgiveness. We'll be heading over to fifth stimulus, and we'll also be visiting with Sir Loin. He has returned in a new form, and also we have the details of the latest on frame wars. Those details and more as we go into the second half of this incredible early mornings broadcast. I'll see you back in 60 seconds, but first, here's the community page. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues now on a big early morning's broadcast as the House deal is done on that incredible recon, and away we go in that voting. The voting could happen as early as tonight, if not tomorrow night, with or without the Congressional Budget Office report. Meantime, programs in this recon will have lots of checks for you, on average about $15,000, and that's before the Senate gets a hand of it across the board. Then we turn to third stimulus, which is paying your bills right this week. Average viewer of the channel has gotten on average $45,000. All the latest details on that as well. Student loan debt forgiveness. More debt could be forgiven. Those details in the second half of this video. And then fifth stimulus. Wow. Fifth stimulus heats up, and it comes in January after this COLA raise. Those details and more, plus sirloin and the latest on frame wars. It's a big early morning's broadcast, direct from Santa Monica. I'm excited you're here, and this, my friends, is LA. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers and 140 million views in a year and a half. A YouTube record. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video and consider becoming a member. Coming up next is Morning's Countdown. Then, brand new mornings live on air at 9 a.m. So subscribe, like the video, and consider becoming a member. And away we go. Here we go. Your incredible recon will be called for a vote as early as tonight, if not tomorrow night, and we are done. The recon was promised by Nancy Pelosi to be called for a vote no later than the week of November 15th. That means the vote could likely happen tonight. And Nancy Pelosi loves her Thursday night, 8 p.m., 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time voting time. That was the result of a major deal hatched by Nancy Pelosi over a week ago, that the vote would happen with the moderate Democrats passing the recon. They had wanted a Congressional Budget Office report to be done in totality before the vote. It's not going to happen. But the moderate Democrats say they're not worried anymore. Why? Because they're relying upon the statements from the White House and the Treasury Secretary that the recon is fully paid for. And with that, they don't need to really see the whole CBO report. Well, get ready for that incredible recon, because these programs are wonderful. Those programs will pay you about $15,000 in checks across this incredible recon. Are there checks? Yes. Are there a lot? Yes. How much do they pay? On average, $15,000. Let's go over the first cluster, the first check in this recon, and it's paid leave and family leave. How much does it pay? A lot. What is it? You have to stay home from work because of death, illness, or a pregnant person giving birth in the household. Now, if you don't work, don't worry about it whatsoever if you live in a household with someone who does, because they'll get the money if you're impacted. Case in point. You're an elder person and you live with your son or daughter. They take you to the doctor once a week. They have to take off from work. They're going to get paid to take you to work. So the money's going to go to them for the household. Let's go over the calculation. $1,700 a week if the person makes $70,000 or more per year. Then $800 a week if the person makes $35,000 or more per year. $400 a week if the person makes $15,000 or more per year. How many weeks? Up to 4 weeks. Whoa, that is a lot of money. Yes. How much money is that? That's into the thousands of dollars, upwards of $6,000 a year. And the best part of that provision is that it's for everyone, all income levels, all type of workers. So if you make $200,000, if you make $20,000, you're going to get it. If you're W-2 or you're 1099, you're going to get it. The second check in this incredible recon is the benefit issue, actually. The big SALT cap being raised up. When you go to pay your state tax returns, you pay a certain amount of taxes to the state. Well, you can deduct that on the federal tax return, but only up to a certain amount under the 2017 tax overhaul. That amount, $10,000. No longer the case. Fourth stimulus recon raises it all the way to $72,500 you can deduct on your federal tax return of what you pay in state and local deductions. Job training, $40 billion of free job training is in this recon. It's great, especially for my seniors, because you know why? Under fifth stimulus, they want to allow you to get back to work if you want to and still stay on benefits like like retirement benefits. They got the Medicaid gap in this recon. A lot of people ask me about the cheaper insurance. They got it in there. This is the 12 Republican states where they refused to pay for Obamacare. We call them the holdout states. They got into this recon, a workaround plan that provides years of subsidized benefits to those people who are low-income uninsured in those states. And then the best part of this entire recon is the housing aid, $150 billion of it. What is it for? Rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, home repairs, weatherizing your home, and that first-time home purchase. Sound familiar? It is familiar. It's the same money with the exception of those last three in third stimulus. Third stimulus had rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. And this is where the viewers of this channel are winning. The average view of this channel has gotten from third stimulus $45,000. And I brought third stimulus back in full force last Saturday after I saw some people in the live chat saying, I need that fourth stimulus to get done to pay my rent. No, you don't. You get rent under third stimulus. It's already law. So here we go. And many of you have gotten great sums of money in just the last 4 days. Let's go over the details. We're going to go over rent, mortgage assistance, utilities, food, internet, clothing, homeless people in the shelters, and more. You can get under third stimulus. It's law. You can get that paid today. I'm going to show you how to get it starting right now. First thing to broadly go over is that you qualify for it. It's yours. It's yours to get. So doesn't matter if you're any this or any of that. Doesn't matter if you're single or married, old or young, on benefits, not on benefits, behind on bills, not behind on bills. Republicans say, Democrats say, doesn't matter. You qualify. Pick up the phone and start calling. Let's look at the money for rent first. It's huge. 3 months ago, the money for rent was $20,000 to $30,000 across the board. That is no longer the case anymore. The numbers have grown astronomically. This was then. Now the numbers have grown to about 40,000. Why have they grown so much? They've grown because, one, the rent has gone up. Two, people have become more sophisticated in doing this. Number three, there is multiple rounds available. Yeah, so if you got in one round for rent, get another round. Get a third round under third stimulus. And here you go. Where do you get it? 6 places. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID. Mortgage utility assistance because of COVID. All right, here's a couple things to remember. One, you must, M-U-S-T, must reach out to all 6. Do not reach out to one, get a no, and then stop. They have different eligibility. They have different pots of money. If one says no, reach out to the other ones. Number 2, apply everywhere. Don't apply in one place and call it a day. Apply everywhere. Get money from multiple places for the same item. Viewers have constantly gotten rent from multiple places, both for rent. Then do the same thing for mortgage assistance. Let's go to the utilities. Wow. These were the numbers 3 months ago. They were then about 15,000 last month with Mark's brother-in-law, but guess what? They're going higher. The Consumer Price Index number released last week showed us that heating oil has gone up 59.1% year to date. That means that you need to get more money because utilities are going up. So get all your utility bills paid. Next, if you qualify for a stimulus check, why are you paying for food? You shouldn't. You should get on SNAP. SNAP is wonderful. It pays for your food. And where do you get it? Department of Agriculture. Pick up the phone and call. And these were the numbers 3 months ago. They're now over 25,000. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $25,000 a year. Over 10 years, $250,000 from this channel. How do you get it? Department of Agriculture. How much has it gone up? 25% lifetime starting last month. Next, combo items. Get multiple items. Don't get one item and call it a day. Here was Nisi. She got 3 at 23,000. Here's Nancy, who got 3 at 32,000. Here's Mark, who got 2 at 32,000. I said to Mark on camera, I said, you got 2. That's great for 32,000, but get some more. He got his third. It brought him to 50,000. He got more. He's now at 100,000. That's the spirit of this channel. Continue to push until you can get every last penny possible. Then let me turn to Johnny. Johnny's example is the epitome of what you should do. Johnny was one of 3 viewers several weeks ago who started the week at 0. By the middle of the week, they had gotten 3 items, 45,000. I said, good, but don't stop there. And that's what Johnny heard, and he didn't stop. He continued to the weekend, and by the weekend, he got 7 items approved. 7 items approved in 5 days. Now, you have to understand, Johnny did not call 7 places. He must have called 15 places because he got 7 approved. That's what you want to do. He got $80,000. Not unusual. Countless viewers have gotten over $100,000 from third stimulus from this channel. Second part is Johnny's story I adore, and that is when he turned to his family members the next week. He said, you know what? I have $80,000. Where'd you get $80,000 from? I was watching his channel at LALATE, and I got this money from third stimulus. They said, third stimulus? Third stimulus is just a $1,400 stimulus check. That's what the local news and the newspaper and that cable news channel and broadcast media tells us. No, he said there's other money on third stimulus. They don't want to cover it. They don't know how to cover it. He covers it. And the family members went from non-believers to believers. And by the end of the week, they got $50,000 each. This is what's important, is that since first stimulus, print, broadcast media, cable news networks don't cover this money. They're not going to tell you. So if you do a search engine search to find money, you're not going to find it. If you turn on your local news, you're not going to find it. Turn on cable news, they're not going to cover it. They don't care to run the story. They don't care about it. They don't care to get you money. It's not their focus. That's not what they do in life. I do that. That's what this channel does. I get people money since first stimulus, second stimulus, third stimulus. When fourth stimulus becomes law, they're not going to tell you what the world is in fourth stimulus. They don't care. They don't care to help you get that money. They didn't care to help you get third stimulus money. Why would they care for fourth stimulus? That's what I do. And I love that story for those two reasons, that people had to refocus in that same family of Johnny's, because they had been hearing incomplete information. He said, no, this is how you do it. And he showed them, and they got $50,000 each. Which brings us back into that fourth stimulus. We left it right where we're talking about the housing aid. So let's go back to that housing aid, because in addition to those items for housing, there is also the home repairs. Low-income household, it'll be a grant, potentially. And then that first-time home purchase, yes, no income level so far shown. And then the weatherizing your home, no income household, no income level shown at the moment. They're going to do $150 billion of in-home health care for seniors and people on who are disabled. That $550 check is great for my Pell Grant recipients. And the $12,500 check back end for people who are buying an electric car. It's getting messy, and the president's trying to deal with the messiness of it. I don't know if he understands how to deal with it. What's at issue? It's supposed to be Ford, Chrysler, GM, but it's also supposed to be a car that's made in the United States. At the moment, there's not a lot of Ford, Chrysler, GM electric cars made in the United States. About 2 months ago, there was one, and it's not a particularly attractive looking car. Then yesterday, he visited a plant in the United States that produces the Hummer, and that's over $100,000. We're getting a bad message here, Mr. President. Visiting $100,000 electric cars? Yeah. Let's get the sensible priced electric car in this grouping. Now there's rumors that the Ford Lightning and the Lyric, which are not cheap cars, they're like $50,000, $60,000, will be added to the mix. But he needs to get this on point, because this is just a little messy at the moment. $65 per month checks for my children when not in school got in there as well. One of the best parts of this recon is the money for also the big savings in your wallet under Medicare and prescription medication. For 20 years, prescription medication prices were stuck to Medicare by Big Pharma. They had to pay whatever they were charged, and that will no longer be the case. They got a provision in this recon that day one, 20 medications will be negotiated with negotiated rates. This is Medicare Part B, Medicare Part D, the most expensive Medicare provisions like arthritis, cancer, and diabetes medication. And how will this work? Start with 20 medications, good faith negotiations right off the board. Example is the insulin, which is currently like $1,000 a dose. It'll drop to $35 a dose. Then it'll grow to 30 medications by year 2028, and the medication cannot grow more than the rate of inflation per year. If it does, then Big Pharma is fined. Fined? Not so, says Pat Toomey, the Republican. He says you cannot do a fine in a recon. And that's why he's brought in the Senate parliamentarian, but she was already looking at this recon. And she's likely to this next week rule on whether you can fine anyone in a recon or the Senate rules don't allow it. Also, she's going to look at immigration reform. I believe it's going to fall out because you're not supposed to do immigration reform by a recon, she previously ruled. Big Pharma, paid leave, also a big issue. We don't know where that's going to land. But meantime, the Republicans are saying we're going to look at a lot of stuff in this recon to make sure it all passes through the Senate parliamentarian. That brings us to what's next on the that Senate side. That Senate side will have a lot of additions. You look at the graphic on screen, it says $15,000, but guess what? You already saw that the provisions from third semester are repeated, and they pay you on average $45,000 as a viewer of this channel. So yeah, that number 15,000 is undervalued. And guess what? It's the House side. The senators are adding provisions in there. Bernie says there's major gaps in this recon. We're going to add a lot of provisions in there. And so says Ron Wyden. So says Chuck and Coons and Casey and Murphy. What are those provisions? They're coming up in just a second. But get a pen and paper ready. Let's go over the big money that elsewhere is in this recon. These are your checks they got in there. Universal pre-kindergarten, 3 to 4-year-olds, one check, a 1 year check front end. Childcare, back end checks. Enhanced child tax credit, the CTC, 1 year, $3,600 approximately front end check. Earned income tax credit, back end. Essential workers, home health care, covered benefit. Then we have the hearing aid, likely a check for that one. We went over the home items. We went over the Pell Grant, $550 per child per month. And then the $65 per child per month. And then we went over the Pell Grant, $550 one-time check. So what are those provisions that Bernie would add to this recon? He's made it very clear. In addition to the push to put MSC in there, he wants to do lowering the eligibility age of Medicare, dental, and vision. Lowering the eligibility age of Medicare. It's currently 65. Bernie wants to bring it down to 55. Bob Casey wants to do 60. We'll see if they get it in there. Then he wants to do dental. It was last in the recon as a check, $850 per year check for people who are seniors. Is he going to get that? He wants more. He wants 10 years of full benefits, at least 3 years of full benefits, he also said. And what about vision? Well, vision has been a battleground. Bernie wants a pair of frames and a new eye exam per year. I said eye exam, $50, Costco. Pair of frames, $100, $150 check in the mail to my seniors per year, done. And that caused a little bit of controversy because some people said that's not enough. In Frame Wars yesterday on episode 3, there was someone on Twitter sending me messages saying, LALATE, I go to the optometrist. I do bifold or trifold, quadrifold glasses. I mean, times as a fold. I need a particular color of the lens, and I need a particular, changes dark and changes to blue, and then it changes to like Mitch red, and that. Most of this is what he said. I'm embellishing a little bit, but it was a lot of stuff in this one tweet. That I need a particular type of frame, and I need a low light frame. It's $1,000 LA. And then he added the best part of the entire tweet. Tweet and urge Bernie to do $1,000 glasses LA. $1,000 reoccurring glasses. I can't say that with a straight face. It's what's going on now. It's just everyone does not see eye to eye. They do not see eye to eye. Why do people not see eye to eye? Because of frame wars. Because of frame wars. It started several days ago on episode 1 where one person said $450 frames. No, we need more money than that. That's just not enough. My daughter and my sister, they pay these incredible sums of money across the board, and frame wars, it just embodies what I'm feeling. My daughter pays for $450 frames, and you need to get that out. I can't get that. I have to go to France to get that for you. There's no $450 frames here. I mean, maybe if I go shopping at Rodeo Drive, who's going to advocate for that? Rodeo Drive? Rodeo Drive, advocate for stimulus. Yes, it's just not going to work. Medicare does not go to Paris to get your frames, and they don't even go to Paris, Kansas. But needless to say, frame wars is real. It's very real. People just don't see eye to eye on this. And let's see what people are saying about frame wars and how they're reacting day in, day out. I think he needs new prescriptions because he doesn't realize how bad his dance moves are. He's doing this, you know, he's doing this. I'm like, you need to fix your prescription because clearly you do not see that's a bad dance move. So there we go. We're not done with dancing people. We got dancing farmers coming up later in this video as well. But for now, Frame Wars is alive. If you have a comment about what you think frames should be, real or hilarious, sometimes I can't figure out the difference, send it to me on a tweet or an Instagram or a post, and I may feature it on this channel. What do you think Bernie should do? And do not send me the MSF tweets because I don't think that's very funny. Multiple seductive frames. This is not Dangerous Housewives. Let's turn over to the other provisions of this recon that need to be fixed, and they don't make a particular good sense. And those provisions concern the student loan debt forgiveness. Excuse me, not the student loan debt forgiveness. They concern the paid leave. I show the paid leave a certain number, but it's the childcare that's definitely confusing. I show it as $60,000 or less household income is what qualifies you for it. Some of the notes showed 150. What's going on? I show more money for the housing and more money for the home health care, so I hope they figure that as well. Student loan debt forgiveness. The Democrats have an offer, $10,000, executive order, forgive it, done. They're not taking it. Why? President ain't going to $50,000 by December, maybe next year, but the Democrats should take it. It's a $10,000 offer. They can take it. They don't have to close out the door. They just take that for now, and away we go. President has forgiven student loan debts for people being disabled after graduation, people who went to work in the nonprofit sector after graduation, and people who went to work in the public sector after graduation. Democrats should take the latest offer. It's great. Then that COLA raise, 5.9%, your benefits are going up next year, but that's not the end of it. You need fiscal stimulus, which follows right behind it. Why? COLA is awful. COLA didn't move for many, many decades, and COLA doesn't work. Your benefits were behind, undervaluing your benefits were undervalued pre-pandemic, during the pandemic, and after the pandemic. And that is why they need fiscal stimulus. First, they're going to raise your benefits up one big time to get you caught up. That's you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits. Then they're going to apply a new benchmark. That new benchmark will be inflation. They'll apply that in December 2022. So you get this lift up, then you get a first, and then you'll get a third. Then it's important to understand they're going to remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, and remove the marriage penalty. Finally, if you haven't become a member, what are you doing? That link is under the video. Become a member today and learn about the big money you can get. First, second, and third stimulus featured in the newsletter, which comes out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via YouTube and the LALATE alert system to you. It features the big money so that you can learn like how Johnny, Mark, and Nisi got these big sums of money. Most of the big success stories on this channel, the viewers who have gotten over 100,000 have done it all themselves. And that's why that newsletter is so important. It shows you the 6 places to reach out for the money. It shows you the keywords you say. It also features the nonprofits, the 5 nonprofits to reach out to. It features that treasury statement about the new $13 billion that went out for rent. Read it before going out and getting that money. And it features all the other money under first, second, and third stimulus for you to get. Get that incredible newsletter by becoming a member today. And with that, let's go into the final minutes of this video with my commentary of the situation across the board and a little bit about sirloin. Well, a very fascinating poll released yesterday, and it shows that you can't help everyone and make everyone happy. What did that strange poll say? It said, in the state of West Virginia, it is now holding a 15% poverty rate. It's horrible. 15% poverty rate in Joe Manchin state. And they also said that in the state of West Virginia, it is the second poorest state in the United States at the moment. Okay, so that's a setup. So what do they think, the residents of his state, when looking at the forced stimulus recon? Excited about it? Not excited about it? They are not excited about it. A new poll says that they are more concerned about inflation and they are less concerned about the recon. So what did they say? They basically say they go to the market in West Virginia and they see the cost of milk and they don't like it. And they blame the President of the United States and they say the forced stimulus recon will make it worse. And because of that, they don't want the forced stimulus recon. They rather just have inflation go back down. Very, very fascinating. So you would think that people that have a high poverty level in their state would want to get more benefits to that state right away. No, they say no. We want to get the inflation down. We don't want benefits flowing in like that. Very, very interesting. part of the equation. I'm very excited for the viewers of this channel because suddenly you've been able to refocus really quickly. We had Bonnie in the afternoon's 1 o'clock show who immediately got some money for one item. We had another viewer send me a message 2 days ago. Another viewer sent me a message yesterday. People are getting money, $300 here, $500 there, right off the board. People are understanding that the refocusing is working. What was that issue? It was last weekend when I saw viewers sending messages or in the live chat saying, get that MSC, forced stimulus, done right now to pay my rent. I'm behind on my rent. I said, what? You can get third stimulus to pay your rent right now. You don't even need to be watching forced stimulus coverage. Get that third stimulus rent right now. And that's why it resonates so well. If you need help with rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, food, internet, clothing, small appliances, get it from third stimulus and get it from the nonprofits. That money is available right now. And it's very exciting because the change has been so abrupt. I sensed that people had gotten misfocused over the weekend, that they were not using third stimulus to pay their bills. Now they are. It is great once again. If you got third stimulus before, you can get it again. If you never got third stimulus, you can get it now. You should not lean on the nonprofit. You should not lean on the volunteers unless you can't do it yourself and you tried and you can't find it. The big success stories have come from viewers who made the phone calls themselves. The reason why I like Johnny's story is because he reached out to so many people in so few days. He reached out to at least 15 people, 15 organizations in 5 days to get that $80,000. The reason I like Mark's story is because he continues to keep on getting money progressively every few weeks. He went from 32 to 50 to 100,000. He'll probably go even higher because he keeps on going back. He hears the information, he goes back and gets more money. I have a lot of viewers who got rent in December last year, then got it in February this year, then got it over the summer. They're going to get another round right now as well. Forced stimulus, great. Pick up the phone and advocate with the 2 C's, the 2 S's, and the 2 W's. Separate it maybe 3 days of the week, but then leave yourself some time to pick up the phone and call for the rent, the utilities, the mortgage, assistance, the food. D&Qs, I can't help them. They just are all over the place. They're here, they're there, they're at the water cooler, they're on the front porch. Those are people who say, I do not qualify. They do qualify. They just don't want to make the effort. They will be left behind. I can't make a recording for them. I can't help them. You need to ignore them, just zone them out. These are the people who hear things and say, I don't qualify. I don't qualify for third stimulus. I don't qualify for fourth stimulus. And they live in an altered universe. And that altered universe manifests itself yesterday. Someone was in the live chat saying, but I really don't qualify. I appear on my son's tax return. You see what I'm talking about? That has nothing to do with qualifying for these programs. That is nothing. But I'm not here to convince them because they'll never be convinced. They think they don't qualify for anything. They only want one instrument. They don't want anything else. They only want to hear one thing. And it's an ingredient for destruction. Why? Because they're being dependent upon a future event on a date they think it's going to happen. Maybe that date is not going to be that date. It's going to be another date. And it's an ingredient for disaster. You're not that person. You will never be that person. You're too smart. You're too willing to learn. You get that pen and paper out, you go listen to the recordings, you come on camera and listen each day and learn and learn and learn. And then if you miss something, you watch the next video when I go over it again to get that money. You're doing really well. Viewers are immediately turning the tides and the response has been absolutely astronomical. Last Saturday, I sensed a big problem. I sensed a void that people were not trying to get this money. And I reached out to the volunteer, average volunteer, getting 60 requests a day, 16 requests a day. The volunteers were getting 0 in 3 days. Very, very bad news. I mean, no one was trying to get third stimulus. They certainly weren't asking the volunteers for any assistance. Now we're up to 9 and maybe we'll go higher. Now remember, do not lean on the nonprofits. Don't just have the don't lean on the volunteers. Don't reach to them to just do your work. They don't have a tree in the backyard with money on it. You need to do it yourself. They're there to help you if you can't find it. Meantime, I found something, and I was really surprised. In preparing for yesterday's video, I found that there were several, not quite sure how many still, but at least 3, sirloin videos that have never re-aired. Wow, where were these? I never knew I had them. And one debuted last night. If you missed it, well, I hope you join me tonight because there'll be another one, but you can certainly watch the one from last night. It's now archived on the channel. And everyone's excited for the big return of brand new sirloin shows shortly. whether it's a dancing frame guy or a dancing farmer, we're doing it all here on LALATE. Dancing pairs included. I'm excited you're joining me. We have a whole slate of shows all throughout the day. Coming up next is Morning's Countdown. Then Morning's LALATE live on air at 9 a.m. Bring your dancing farmers, dancing frame guy, and dancing calcino moves. I'll look forward to seeing you. We're going to have a big early morning's broadcast. We're going to have a big day, and we're going to have a big morning. The toast was toasting, the butter was buttering, and the coffee was brewing. We even had some digital bacon. See you next. But first, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LALATE for more.